So I'm just wondering, have any of you guys tried to sell your PS5 recently? Some scalpers, they are having one hell of a time trying to sell theirs. Good morning, everybody! So I think Naomi's decided to call all of her people her Pokey Peeps. I obviously can't call you people that. This is Elliot from the 2B Project, your player one, and I am looking forward to having this discussion with you guys this morning. Don't worry, I will come up with a name for you guys probably over the next, I don't know, week or so. Naomi's calling hers Pokey Peeps, so I gotta come up with something now, right? I was thinking calling you guys my multiplayers. That'd be kind of cool, right? You know what would even be better? Is if I let you guys pick your name. So I know we don't get a lot of comments on the video, but if you do drop a comment, drop what you'd like to be called. And let's be clean about this. Don't be friggin' jokesters and whatever. You know how you are. Okay, that being said, why don't we get to the conversation? Why don't we get to the dialogue? Why don't we get to what we're talking about this morning? But first, before that, I don't know if I told anybody that we're releasing another bonus video on Sunday, so that's cool. It's actually going to be called a new series. It's called 2P Power Up, and it's going to be sort of around my journey in the fitness weight loss category. Actually, I'm not looking to lose weight, but just to get stronger. But I have a significant update video for that one. Anyway, sorry guys, I just wanted to push that out there a little bit, and let's get into the meat of things here. So recently, and welcome to the morning drive. So recently, I'm Canadian. I don't know if you figured that out by now, or if you know, like, by my accent or anything like that, but recently I get a lot of, I know I keep doing this. Okay, hold on. I get a lot of news from Toronto and, Ottawa, like big towns in Ontario. I'm from Ontario, obviously. And I get a lot of news from those two places because they're the biggest places in Ontario. And some of the news, I know, like, when news like this really hits the waves, it goes out into the US, it goes all over the place, right? So this is actually kind of funny, but there's two aspects to this side of things. So scalpers in Toronto, get this, who are selling the PS5, and I call them the scalpers because we just made a video on the scalpers the other day, but I'm not sure if it's exactly fully 100% scalpers, but it is, people trying to sell their PS5. So maybe it's not fair for me to call them scalpers, because there are probably some legitimate people out there who are selling their PS5s who really didn't want a PS5 to begin with, like I mentioned in the last video. And they're just out there trying to sell their PS5s at cost, maybe. So I recognize that there's those kind of people out there. But for the most part, there are scalpers out there. And these dudes, or dudettes, whatever you want to call them, are out there putting the cost of their PS5 anywhere from, I don't know, let's say $1,000 to $1,500 Canadian. I know that is going for more in the US, but $1,000 to $1,500 Canadian, $1,500, and they're putting these numbers on Kijiji, and they're getting set up with people who are going out into the community. They're getting set up, they're setting up their sales with people like Kijiji. Kijiji's like the Craigslist of the US. And they're going into the community and trying to sell these things, doing these meetups. But I think some of the places that they're trying to meet these people are like not very public, not public places. So it's kind of interesting. But anyway, they go into these places, they arrange the meetup, they do everything, and then all of a sudden they hop in and get face to face with these people, and then they're getting robbed, man. They are getting robbed. So there's two things that comes from this. Like, they're getting robbed at weapon point. There's a link on Kotaku that I can post here. But if I remember, sometimes I don't remember to post them. But anyway, there's a link, or I can put it in the card. But there's a link on Kotaku that talks about this a little bit. There's also some other going around, but it's actually pretty big news. Like, the PS5, okay, it's a good console, and yeah, I understand that they're, you know, like, they're not widely available yet, but they will be. But I mean, if you're selling your PS5, you gotta be aware that people are looking to do, or looking to be malicious. I mean, come on, you're selling it for $1,000 or $1,500. Come on, you gotta get a clue, people, even if you are a scalper. Now, that being said, scalpers may not be the very best, you know, judge of character, since they are selling, since they are, you know, scalping double the price for a PS5 that will be available after Christmas. Okay, now let's rewind a bit. I do understand that there are some legitimate people out there, so it's not fair for me to say that scalpers are getting their just desserts. I would never, ever, ever, ever wish harm on anybody. No matter if this guy is scalping, or no matter if, you know, whatever, for whatever reason, if this guy's got to sell his PS5 at $1,500, clearly he needs to make, or she needs to make some money somehow for some reason. Maybe they missed rent because of COVID-19. Maybe they, you know, maybe there's something else going on there, right? I mean, there's always some reason, and I always like to hear both sides of the tale before I really understand why these people are selling, or why these people are scalping their systems, which is really, you know, like, it's an interesting thing to me, because you see it all over eBay. But there are some people out there, granted, who are doing it for a quick buck. We talked about reselling last video, but, like, just to make, like, to flip, buy and flip, and buying at a high number of units. So, I mean, you must have the money to spend. I know someone who bought 7 consoles. 7 consoles in the hopes that they could flip them. And while I may not entirely wish harm upon them, I kind of wish that, like, maybe not the police, but the people that are selling, like Kijiji, or giving the medium to sell these systems, I wish they would clamp down on these people and say, hey, look, you can only sell one of these systems. You've already sold one before. Don't sell anymore. You know what I mean? So it's a tricky thing to balance, and I understand why companies can let them go. You know, it's a freedom thing. It's a business, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, here's the deal. If you're going to get into scalping, well, that's entirely up to you. But just be careful, because there are lots of people out there who are into, who do have, you know, bad intentions, and they will get out there, and they will, you know, arrange to meet with you, and for all you know, you could be held up at weapon point next time. So I'm just going to reiterate what the cops in Toronto said. You know, when you're out there and you're selling your stuff on Kijiji or Craigslist or whatever it is, make sure you do it in a public place. Don't do it in no shady alley, or, you know, wherever there's a chance for you to be held up at weapon point. I mean, it's common sense, people. Common sense! I've never once done and I'm not a saint, I've never once done a Kijiji. I'm not perfect. I'm not saying not perfect. I've never once done a Kijiji run where we've been alone, or anything like that. That being said, you know, some people do invite you to their houses, so that's freaking crazy. We actually sold a couple things ourselves, like our Pokemon stuff, where these people were fully 100% open to us dropping their stuff off that they were buying from us at their house. Like, I would never invite someone over to drop stuff off to sell to me at my house. I mean, I guess, okay, maybe Canadians are just, you know, very trusting in general, but that's crazy. Anyway, scalpers in Toronto are getting robbed. That's crazy. Like, what else? I don't know. I'm sure it's not just Toronto. I'm sure it's everywhere else. I'm sure there's other places around, but I mean, it just happened to get the news. It just happened to get a Kotaku spread. Now, that being said, I don't know if the algorithm highlighted that article, and you know, I'm already following global news anyway. It was on global news and Twitter and all over the place. It was trending for like a day or something like that. Anyway, so that was all I really wanted to talk about today, and I thought it was something worthwhile sharing. I thought it was kind of funny that some people are actually getting held up over these PS5s. And you know what I say to people that always, you know, I haven't been robbed, but people have stolen stuff, you know, broken into my car or stolen stuff from me before. Actually, I had Aerosmith tickets one time, and it was my stupidity. I left them in my wallet, and I forgot my wallet in the car, and the wallet was underneath the seat. They literally had to go dig underneath my seat to be able to find my wallet, which is really kind of interesting to me, because it just goes to show that some people are really intent on getting your stuff. But anyway, the Aerosmith tickets were gone, and you know, what could I do, right? So I had to buy more. And then they canceled the concert. So anyway, I'm just rambling now, but what I always say to people who, you know, who've had their stuff stolen, it's like, obviously the people who are stealing your stuff needed it more. And with that being said, I'm Elliot from the 2P Project. Thanks for watching the morning drive. 2P, wait, I'm just trying to park. Out!